It's incredibly annoying to realize that the new information you studied has disappeared into a black hole in your brain, which is very frustrating. Doubly so when you try to retell others about what you read or heard, but can't remember half of it. I could never boast of a strong memory. At times I thought I was completely hopeless. I often made excuses telling myself that everything goes in one ear and out the other. Today I want to talk about how to strengthen your ability to memorize, and specifically about one thing that held back my own learning for years. And our topic is lack of your brain focus. One of the reasons we often forget something is that we never learned it properly in the first place. It was never stored in memory because our minds wandered or we got sloppy. Once I was traveling with a guy in another country. He'd park the car and we'd go off exploring. He would completely forget the way back to the car, and almost every single time I was the one who found our way back. How did that happen if I have such a bad memory? As I walked, I noticed small details along the way. That were things that stood out to me. Here's where we crossed the road. There was a bright graffiti on the wall. Or whether there was a funny shop window display. All of that grabbed my attention and stirred up emotions. The same thing works with the information you study. You need to create hooks that help you remember something important. Hooks can be all kind of things: associations, smells, music, whatever you enjoy most. But I definitely don't recommend learning something new while listening to music or watching a series. Why? The answer is obvious. All of that will compete for your attention, and most likely the music or series will win. So when you're working on a task, reading a book, or sitting through a lecture, give it your full attention and concentrate. If you still want to listen to something, I'd recommend listening to instrumental background music. I also think that retelling information to someone else, or even to yourself, works like a good litmus test for everything you learned. I found that when I started teaching Chinese to my students, my own language skills improved dramatically. Because before each class I had to make sure I understood the material myself. You most likely won't be able to retell something you don't understand yourself, and I highly recommend finding a conversation partner who loves to ask questions. This way you might discover weak spots in your own understanding and highlight something to work on. To sum up, your hooks will serve as landmarks on your learning journey, and retelling will strengthen your own understanding and confidence in what you know. That's all for today. See you next time. Bye.